Hello friends, this is Navdeep Mehta and welcome to AI. And today we are going to start on working a project namely jobs one minute namely job salary prediction. We are going to work on this project. We are going each part and we are going to end with the result. So this is a 8 year ago project, okay, and this at that time the prize money was $6,000, but right now this project is not in running. And in this project, we are going to predict the salary of UK job based on its contents, uh, based on the given data. The data which we are giving, we are going to predict the salary of different person in UK companies. Okay, okay, so UK job. So let's move to the Jupyter notebook and we start working on this project. Now here you see, firstly, we have imported pandas as PD, numpy as np, now matplotlib.py plot as plt, and then matplotlib.inline. So this line is used to skip the line this plt dot. So if you use this line matplotlib.inline, then there is no need of writing this line. It will automatically plot your graph. So this line is used to skip this line. Then we have imported c1 and sns. After doing this, we are importing our data. So here nothing new. You all know everything separate comma separated q character. If there is any two lines that is separated by double dots, then it will be different character. And here the data file location, and again df is equal to pd.read csv is our command. Now here it's clear. Now let's move to the downward. Now let's understand first what each type of data set. Now here so the first is ID. This ID. Okay. So this is an unique ID number. Suppose you are going to a school, then you get an ID card, and that ID card has a number. It is entirely different. Okay, so it is a unique identification code for each and every person. Here we are using ID instead of person name because person name may be match. Now the title. What is the title of your job? Okay. What title of your job? Suppose you are a student, you are working on engineer, medical, nurse, like that. This is title. Now this is the full description. Next. Full description means in teaching. Okay, there are a lot of work in teaching. One is as a lab, as a practical, as a study, as a lab, really like different things. So if you are a teacher, then what was your working, this will describe in this. Now location raw and location normalized. So let's understand this. Now suppose you live in India, okay, and you have to predict data on India. And what you do, you just go to write a state name like Patna, Delhi, Mumbai, etc. If you supposed to collect data of India, now if you supposed to get data of Patna, okay, then you go in different ways like Kankar Bagh, okay, then Gandhi Nagar, again the Bailey Road, etc. Okay, so Patna, Delhi, Mumbai, and these all are what? Location normalized, and these all are location raw. So inside India, there's city namely Patna, Delhi, Mumbai. In Patna, there places Kankarwa, Gandhinagar, Biro, like that. So location raw indicates this. Inside Patna, what were the different places, but location normalize this. Patna, Delhi, Mumbai, like that. Okay. So here it is location like that. Here you see Dokring is what our city name, and in Dokring it was here. So it was here. In Glasgow is a city name. In Glasgow it is here. In Hemisphere is a city name, and in Hemisphere it is here. So like that, this is the things that it is the inner. You can say in Patna different places, and this is just inner. But in India, Patna. In Patna this. So in Patna this, and in India this. Then contract type. Contract type refer to a what? Now here you see one is of your full time and one is part time. So contract type is that you are working as a full time in our company or you're working as a part time company. Suppose a full time job is 10 hours. If someone work for 10 hours, then he's working full time. If someone work for 5 hours, then he's a working for part time. Now next move contract time. Now you see some of hire with contract time like you are hired for 2 years. You have a contract time of 2 years. You are working here for 2 years. One is permanent. You are working here permanently as you wish. So this is contract time and contract type. Contract type refer to the places full time or half time, and contract time is refer to the permanent and what permanent and contract. Yes, you are working for 2 year, you are working for 3 year, or either you are working fully. So these all are the contract type and contract time. Now here company. So here you see what was your company name. Okay, company name. In which company you are working. This is categories. In that company, there are different categories like engineers, uh, like medical engineers, like that. In medical you suppose you're a doctor. In doctor you're which type of doctor, like other things. So these all are what categories. You're from your engineer or your medical, like that. And in this place, in medical you're what, your doctor. In doctor you're which type of doctor, like that in here. Okay. So this is the full description that you are a doctor of anesthesia or other things. You are engineer of system analytics, and in system analytics your work is like this. So this is the category. Now next is salary raw. 1 minute. Let's delete it first. Now salary raw. Salary raw means between how much your salary bill. Suppose between 10 to 50K your salary will rise in this company. If you go, then he will told you your salary is 3 to 4 lakh. So this is salary rise. Between that your salary bill, and salary normalized means कि from 10 to 5 you suppose you get 12,500. Okay, so between this you will get this salary. So this is salary normalized and this is salary raw. Now there is sources name. From which sources you get the job. Okay, there are a lot of platform like you listened about Naukri.com, then Indeed Job, Intersala. Like these are the sources where you get the job. So this is the sources part is like that. Okay, from these sources you get this job. Your from which sources you get this job. So this is the sources name, that in which places you are getting the job. So these are the different data that I have listened and understand. So let's move to the next part. Now moving to the next. So here df.size. So this function is used to calculate total number of entry in the data set. It means कि this is simply 1 minute guys. Now, next one is df dot size. So this is simply used to know how many entries in the data set. Entries in the data set means to say कि how many row into columns. It means suppose you have 5 row and 10 columns, so it is just 10 into 5, that is 50. Now here you see df dot shape. Shape give how many row and how many column in your data set presents. Okay. Now if you multiply these two things, then it will get this. Yes, I will show you. Here I am opening calculator. Calcultor. Okay. Now here you see what was I have data 24476 multiply 12. You said 2937216. So I think you have clear what df dot size and df dot set. Now df dot describe is used to describe your data. What was the count of your data? What is the mean value of your data? Count of your data, mean value, standard deviation, minimum 25%, 50%, 25%, and max is 100%. Now it will only work if you use df dot describe. Then it will only work with what integer value. Okay, for continuous value you can say continuous value. Suppose you have categories data. Okay, now here you see these all are categories data. Maximum is categories data here. So if you need to know what your category data also, then you have to add a line that is include all. This line is used to give you all the count, unique, top, frequency, means, standard, minimum, 25, all the things for both for continuous and category data. Okay. Now here's a frequency. Frequency is only you see frequency only in which only in category data. Why? Because which word is mostly frequent and how much. Okay, that like frequency. Suppose there are two words, I, me. Suppose I is maximum time repeated. So to show that yeah, some of the data this is highly frequently, that is 41093. This is frequency here. Now let's move to the next. Now here what we do, let's understand. Here, here we have make a data frame namely 10 in which in this 10 we have write some index and our index are what? Index is our column name. Indexing is what? Let me show you first indexing. Um, here you guys see uh, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. These all are indexing. Okay. So if we don't give any index value, then it start with 0. Okay. But if you give some index value like uh, yes here. Now here we have given some index value, and what was our index df dot columns means in place of 0, 1, 2, 3, it will be the column name of our data. So here see id, data type, folder is order index, and here see data types. Now be used to know that it will belong to which data types. Okay. 1 minute. Okay. So here you see temp data types is equal to df dot types. Df dot types is used to know which data types it belongs. So it will going to temp index id. So it will going to check id belongs to which data type. In this int, so it will be int 64. After that, it will use null count for each row, each column index here. It will use to get the data type. After that, it will going to use what? Temp null count. Null count means how many missing value in that column. Here you see there are 0 missing value, 1 missing value, 1,79,326 missing value, like that. Now other unique count, how many different value in that column. Here in ID there are this much of unique count. Here title the 1,35,405 different title use. So these all are what we are just a recap of our data, that what are the data type, what is the null count, what are the unique value in our data present. Okay guys, in this lecture we have just understand what are the different data wants to say us, what was the size of data, shape of data, description of our data, and what are the data types of each column, what are the null count present in our each column, what are the unique count present in each of our columns. So in next lecture we are going to use some future engineering part. In that we are going to visualize our data. We are going to remove some data that is not of our use. We will understand why I should remove this data. Okay, so right now just say bye. We will meet in the next lecture. Thank you.